We're out in Lanzarote at the minute. It's January.
Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
I always find it's a great time to actually come to Lanzarote, you know. Generally you find that we're in the UK, it's quite cold this time of year. It can be rainy, wet, or it can be freezing cold and icy. But I've always found like coming to Lanzarote, it's just number one, it's a great place to train in terms of the, you know, like the terrain. But secondly, you generally like get really good weather. It's always very windy here, so that's something you always need to be prepared for. It's just kind of a destination, whether you're a cyclist or a triathlete. Number one, you're guaranteed the weather, but there's a vast amount of terrain that you can kind of utilise. Yeah, it's a great place for individualised training, really. You've got a vast amount of, you know, like terrain itself in terms of like you've got the flats, you've got the hills. It's very rolling here. I think that's something that you generally find that you are always going to have like a hard training camp. I find like a lot of the times, depends which part of the island that you go to, it can be quite hard to actually have like an easy day. Probably got to go into the gym or something and jump on like your bike for the cycling element of it. There's not many places I would say that you can go out and like have like an easy spin. But if you're looking to like work on, you know, like your strength work, your pacing, it's the ideal destination really. And if you're into like your calf stops, I'd definitely say there's lots of places that you can stop off and get some good cakes and teas really. In terms of like the swimming, like we're at Lanzarote at the minute, and the venue itself is like fantastic. You know, like you've got like 50-metre pools, 25-metre pools. You can join in classes, you know, for your swim, you can look at technique. It's crazy like what you can actually do out here. And then if you're coming in an organised group, then I would say that, yeah, providing you get your bookings, you could run like an awesome training camp out here. And then the running as well, like the venue that we've got here, like you've got like the run track, you know, the venue around like the Lanzarote itself there's like some real flat terrain. You've got like all of the trails. If you want to go and do some open water swimming, you've got like the bay. So it's crazy really what you're able to do. So if you are looking for a training camp, I'd definitely say that it's definitely worth booking that flight, getting out here. I think it's just like this time of year, like not being on like the turbo trainer, it's just, I think that you generally find that, you know, I'm similar to like most people. I've spent a load of time on like the turbo trainer. You just lose that way of being able to pace and work on like different strengths. Like the turbo, for a lot of people, that, you know, if you make this mistake and you're utilising like ERG mode quite a lot of the time, then you're not really working on like building your strength. It's just like you almost like become like robotic. Where I would say in Lanzarote, it just, you know, like it enables you to kind of utilise like riding your bike in like the right way. So if I was you, I'd yeah, book that flight and get out here.